FBI Director Kash Patel calling out former bureau leaders for their investigation into Hillary Clinton's alleged use of a private email server.
The FBI hijacked the constitutional responsibility of the Department of Justice and the Attorney General, and James Comey and others specifically decided what cases to prosecute and not prosecute. Don't believe me? Go to the videotape in the Hillary Clinton investigation. And it's a good thing we're here now to clean it up, and you're about to see a wave of transparency.
And I cannot wait for that wave. And Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino calling out former Bureau Chief James Comey over this now deleted Instagram post showing shells with the numbers 86, 47, 7, saying, quote, he brought shame to the FBI badge yet again. Fox News contributor Katie Pavlich joins us now. The Comey thing is bizarre. Do you think on some level this is to sell a book he has coming out, or is he that crazy?
You know, I don't know what's in the mind of James Comey. It's a little bit psychotic that he would, claim that he just happened to be walking on the beach and stumbled upon this random message that happens to be something that he likes politically, and then backtrack with the statement and say he knew that it was political, but he didn't realize that it was a violent message, despite him being the head of the FBI, which is a law enforcement institution that spends millions of dollars every year studying violence, putting out lengthy reports about violence. Symbolism. I mean, there's plenty of symbols the FBI said were, right-wing domestic terrorism symbols, but now he thinks he has no idea what 86 means. I mean, come on. He's clearly a narcissist. He's a liar. And most importantly, he did so much damage to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and that's exactly what Kash Patel, the new director, and Deputy Dan Bongino are trying to fix now on behalf of the American people, because they not only lost trust by going after President Trump's campaign in 2016 and lying to a federal judge to get FISA warrants to spy on the campaign. And then, of course, there were all the text messages going back and forth between high-level FBI agents saying that Trump would never be the president. No accountability for that. And that if you can do it to a president, you can do it to a regular person. And so they're restoring the trust in the institution, which is necessary given how much crime that they fight every day on behalf of the American people.
All right, from crime to Bruce Springsteen. Let's just talk about a guy that's unhinged overseas. We know about the statement he made, caught on camera, not caught, but he said it on camera. Everyone heard it. How he just ripped President Trump and talk about basically we've lost democracy because of him. President Trump came back at him. He did not back off. Springsteen doubling, tripling down. Says the majority of our elected representatives have utterly failed to protect the American people from the abuses of an unfit president and a rogue government. They have no concern or idea what it means to be deeply American. What is this guy? What is he up to? Does he really believe this? Because I know he has a co-author called Barack Obama, and I'm wondering if somehow he's the spokesperson for that.
Well, first of all, President Donald Trump won the election not only by winning every single swing state, taking away blue states from Democrats, but also won the popular vote in a Democratic election. So for him to say that Trump has destroyed democracy doesn't make any sense. This is his bit. He's been doing this for years. I find it interesting that people are willing to pay money to go listen to this when it's clear he's going to stand on stage and do this every single time. But more importantly, he's doing this in European countries where they're throwing people in prison for hurting people's feelings on the internet. And yet he has the nerve to say that America is the threat, that the Trump administration is the threat to democracy and to the First Amendment and to constitutional rights, when he's going to countries, including in the UK, where if you say something that they don't like, the government, they can charge you with a crime for simply saying something. So I think that his priorities out of whack. And again, not sure exactly who's paying to go hear him say this. They really are going to hear his music.
Right. He was on, say, in America, the richest men are taking satisfaction in abandoning the world's poorest children to sickness and death. This guy is...
Well, he's free to donate all the proceeds from his concerts. I mean, if he really thinks that's an issue, he's free to donate every single penny that he has as a very rich rock star to help the people he claims are being left behind. I don't know what he's talking about. He's just throwing it out there to get attention. But there's something he could do about it if he'd like to.
Right. He can go on any late night show. I'm sure they'll have him. Howard Stern will certainly love him. But I think he's going to find himself marginalized. Katie, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.